everyone, welcome to the last day of Bookmas. I hope you are having an amazing Christmas Eve and that you're looking forward to Christmas tomorrow. It's so exciting, and I'm so sorry I've had to use artificial lighting because there is no light in my bedroom. It's completely dark. I had to film this video, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to wing it, and I'm just gonna have to use artificial lighting. So here we are. So Bookmas Day 12, the last day of Bookmas, means I am going to be talking about my top 12 books of 2017. At the time of filming, I have read 119 books this year, and I have read quite a lot of brilliant ones, so to narrow them down to 12 was really hard. I looked at all my 5-star reviews, and I just I had to pick and choose which ones I wanted to include, which ones really stood out to me. So these are the 12 that I picked. These are in no particular order either, so number 1 isn't like my best read of 2017. It's just, yeah, it's just randomly brilliant books that I've read this year. So to kick things off, the first one is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I've talked about this book quite a lot during Bookmas because it just really surprised me how amazing it actually was. It's a young adult historical fiction. There's bisexual representation in this book, which I think is absolutely brilliant. There's issues such as racism and feminism that are explored through this book. It's hilarious and it's just really good, and I know that a lot of people love this book as well, and it's for a good reason. It's just absolutely brilliant. We're getting a sequel next year, which is very exciting. I listened to the audiobook of it, and the audiobook was really good. After I listened to the audiobook, I brought the physical copy and I reread it, and you can tell I absolutely love a book when I reread it straight away. The next book is one that I spoke about in yesterday's video, and that is Paper Butterflies by Lisa Heathfield. This book is about domestic abuse, sisterly friendships, romance, and it's really heartbreaking because you're witnessing this abuse happen and you're reading about it, and it just makes you really upset. But then there's times where it's really heartwarming because the main character finds a friend that she can confide in and she can trust, and it's just about her journey through this, how she deals with this abuse, and I absolutely loved it, and it's one that I thoroughly recommend. Next one is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I love this book. It is so good. I've pretty much read everything that Matt Haig's written apart from his middle grade novels, but everything that Matt Haig has written has been so beautiful, lyrical and amazing. And so when I brought How to Stop Time, I had very high expectations, but How to Stop Time exceeded those expectations. It was so good. It's about this guy called Tom Hazard, and he has lived for centuries and has witnessed everything, and he just wants to settle down and live like a normal life. And so he becomes a history professor at the local high school, and it's just about him trying to figure out his life. And then there's loads of flashbacks as well, so we learn about his past, which is really heart-wrenching. I just think this book is so beautiful, and it's probably one of the best books that Matt Haig has ever written. Next book that we have is Hunting Prince Dracula by Carey Maniscalco. I did read Stalking Jack the Ripper as well this year, but I think Hunting Prince Dracula slightly just about beats Stalking Jack the Ripper. It's slightly better than the first book, which is kind of surprising because normally the second book slows down, but this one really doesn't. This one picks up the pace and is absolutely brilliant. I love this book so much, and I need to give it a reread. Then I have one that won't surprise you guys at all, and that is Coralville by Stephenie Garber. I've spoken about this book way too much, so I'm not gonna say anything else really about this book. Just know that it is absolutely brilliant. It is a circus themed novel. There is mystery, secrets, darkness, romance, hidden tunnels, death, and it is brilliant. Then we have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I didn't think I'd like this novel, but I started reading this book and I read the prologue and I fell in love just by reading the prologue. It is absolutely amazing. We have the main character, Laszlo Strange. He's a complete book nerd and I've fallen in love with him. and he wants to go and find this lost city of Weep that he has dreams about. He's been researching for pretty much his entire life, and he does get the chance to go to Weep and help out with that. And I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to give anything away, but he is absolutely amazing, and all the hype surrounding this book is worth it because it's so good. Then we have The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Alberti. She's the author of Simon vs Homo Sapiens Agenda. I personally think The Upside of Unrequited is better than Simon vs the Homo Sapiens because I can relate more to this book. It's about this girl and she has crushes on a lot of people, and she never voices her opinions about these crushes, she never talks about them, she never follows through. She just kind of crushes from afar. One day she has to confront this, and it's just very cute, amazing, brilliantly written in true Becky Alberti fashion. And it is a book that I just absolutely love. I cherish this book. I gave it a strong 5 out of 5 stars. I can't find anything in this book really to fault, but just know that it's Becky Alberti, so it's going to be amazing. Then we have a book that I've been speaking about in the last few Bookmas videos, and that is Letters to Eloise by Emily Williams. If you're looking for a heartbreaking novel about kind of teenage pregnancy, then look no further. This book is for you. It's about this girl. She gets pregnant while she's at university, and it's about her journey through this pregnancy and what she learns, and we have flashbacks, and it is just absolutely beautiful, and I loved this story. It completely broke my heart. Just get ready to get punched in the gut. That's all I have to say about this book because I just feel like everyone needs to read it because it's just that amazing. Next we have The Flame in the Mist by Renee RDA. This was kind of put forward as a Mulan retelling, but I don't really feel like it is a Mulan retelling because there's not that much similar to Mulan other than the fact that there is a young girl and she has to dress up as a boy to figure some stuff out. So basically there is an assassin after her and she runs away, and she kind of falls into this band of misfits and she dresses up as a boy to try and survive. But there is quite a bit of romance in it, but it's absolutely adorable and I love it so much, and I can't wait for the second book, which is Smoke in the Sun, to come out. It's so exciting, and yeah, I just think this is a beautifully written book. I absolutely loved it. I had an arc of it, so I read the arc and then I got a finished copy and I reread it and reread it again. The next one should come as no surprise to you guys, and that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Need I say more about this book as to why it's even on this list? I mean, you guys know how amazing this book is and how important it is. That's really all I need to say about this book because you guys know. You know what it's about. You know how amazing it is. You know about the brilliant reception that it's received. So I'm just going to move on from this and talk about the next book. The next book is Letters to the Lost by Brigid, Chimaera, and this is about a young girl and she loses her mom, and what she does is she writes letters to her mom and leaves them on her mom's grave. There's this guy who works in the graveyard and he notices this letter by this grave. He reads it and he feels really bad about reading it because he knows it's a complete invasion of privacy, but he reads it and he's so moved by these letters that he wants to find out who's leaving these messages on the grave. And it's about this friendship and ultimately a romance that kind of springs up between these two characters, and it's an absolutely beautiful and moving story. It's the first book that I've ever read by Brigid Chimaera. I don't know whether this is her debut novel or not, but it's absolutely brilliant and I just completely devoured it. I read it in a few hours in one sitting, and again I had an arc of it, so I was quite lucky to read it before it came out. But no, this is definitely one that I recommend if you're looking for a very moving contemporary novel that is about love and loss and friendship. And the 12th book on my list of my top 12 reads of 2017 is When Dimple Met Ricci by Sandhya Menon. This was absolutely hilarious and brilliant. It's about this girl and she wants to become a computer engineer kind of thing. Like she wants to create her own apps and web development and stuff like that. So she goes to this kind of summer program. She finds out that she has been put in an arranged marriage by her parents, and she doesn't know about this arranged marriage. And then we also read from the perspective of the guy that she's in this arranged marriage with, and he's really excited to meet Dimple. So he goes to this summer program to meet her, and all hell kind of breaks loose because obviously she doesn't know that she's in this arranged marriage. So it's just absolutely hilarious. I loved this book so much, and it's really, really good. I loved the fact that she's a web developer because I love geeky female characters. I absolutely love them. And the representation of Indian culture in this book is really, really good. It's an Own Voices novel. And Sandhya Menon has another book coming out next year called From Twinkle with Love. So definitely keep your eyes out for that one when that comes out. So yeah, those are my top 12 reads of 2017. I do have reviews for all of these books, so I will leave the reviews in the description box below. So yeah, that is the end of Bookmas. How crazy is that? Like, I can't believe that it's just gone so quick, and that's my first year of Bookmas done. This is my first year doing it, and I've absolutely loved doing it. It has been really stressful because it's filming every day, editing every day, but I have really enjoyed it because it gives me a chance to talk about books that I wouldn't really normally have chance to talk about. I do love doing Bookmas videos, and I will definitely be doing it again next year, no doubt about that. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas Eve and that Christmas is absolutely brilliant for you, and I'm just sending you all the love over camera. There you go. Have my love. So have a good Christmas, have a good New Year's Eve, have a good New Year's Day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!